Good morning. This is a very quick check-in because I have things to do today. And as my husband has just explained, if I don't do them, then I'm not going to get them done today, and I only have a limited amount of time. Um, I have reports to write for school for my lovely, lovely first years, and much as I love doing that and taking time to think about each individual pupil and think about all the successes they've had and the work we've done together, it's kind of a difficult, boring task for me because I have to sit still for a long time. Once I'm into it, it'll be fine. I'll go into that hyper focus and it'll be great. But it's the getting started bit on a task like that. So I'm doing a lot of distraction, and not getting on with it. So I'm going to take a deep breath and I'm going to do that. I'm going swimming with my friend at 12 o'clock. So I'm going to have to get on and do a certain number of reports before that, then organise myself, get in the car and drive. So there's not much time to write many reports, which is why this can't be very long. I've had a really lovely week, a really tough week, just way too much to do in the time possible as it is in schools at the moment, but trying to focus on the things that matter, which is relationships and people and healing of relationships when things have maybe gone astray, as they are a lot at the moment in lots of situations, because we're still at the tail end of a pandemic and it's still tough. One thing this week that just I realised is that some of the things that have been possible this week are only because of things that I've done maybe in the past that I didn't realise the impact of at the time. And it's just made me kind of go back to the idea of, the quick fix is not always the thing, it's the long, sustained stuff. So just a connection over a few years back, I was in the Mid Argyll Music Festival and I sang a song and performed and then fell off the stage. And that was just an icebreaker this week in a situation that just needed that relational connection. And just little things like that, realizing that families that I'm working with, some of the parents of pupils that I taught a while back, and it's those sorts of connections that really help in a job like mine, where the work I do is often about just really trying to provide that sense of reaching out and being a human being. So that's that. My mum asked me last week why I make these videos, which kind of made me think, oh, why do I? And I reminded myself it's because as a 52-year-old woman with ADHD, I'm on a journey, and I like to, throughout my life, I've kind of recorded my journey as a person. And so it's really helpful for me to have these videos, but I also hope that it's helpful to other people that might tune in and listen. And this week I've been reflecting on, that whole idea of, oh, do I actually have ADHD? And, but some of the things about my ADHD or what helped me to get so much done and to connect with people, and that superpower bit of ADHD. And then I was just reminded of the wonderful Gabor Mate book, Scattered Minds, and the fact that he talks about the fact that, yes, there's a lot that's positive about having ADHD, but there are challenges, and it's the challenge bit that sometimes you can forget, and then that leads to burnout or overdoing it, or doing things for the wrong reasons, thinking you're doing things for the right reasons, but actually doing it because you're being driven by something. And so for me, it's been coming back to sort of values of why I do what I do. Am I doing it because I somehow want to be liked or loved or popular, or am I doing it because it's the right thing to do? So I've been doing a lot of thinking about that, and making the video thing then is just about that, of just trying to sort of say that ADHD is a thing, and it's easy to tell ourselves it's not a thing. There was a thread on Twitter this week, under an article about women with ADHD and menopause, where someone said, isn't this just all of us though? And I thought, either if it is you, should you be looking at whether it is also everyone else, or is it just that we've connected in a thread and therefore it's the people that resonate, that a thread like that resonates with, that possibly have got neurodivergence or are extremely menopausal, or and I think one of the risks with having ADHD is that we just go, yeah, it's actually, it's nothing, I'm just the same as everyone else, and I should just try harder because everyone has these challenges. And if they do and I'm wrong, I'm sorry for waffling on and moaning, but if they did, I think that everyone's just doing a really good job at hiding. And I think that it's okay to say that there are the challenges and to acknowledge that, because if we don't, then the risk again is that we won't be healthy and happy moving forwards. That's a bit of a random waffle. And that's because I know I've got this task to do, so I need to just get on with it. And finally, I think I'm talking a lot, and I think what I need to do is slow down and breathe, because finally I want to talk about a book which I'm listening to in the car, which is called Radical Compassion, and it's by Tara Brach, and it was recommended to me on one of my Teacher Hug radio shows by the fantastic Emma Thompson, who's not the actress, but is equally fantastic. And Tara Brach is just, her voice and her words are phenomenal. And she talks about all of this stuff, not in relation to ADHD, but in relation to who we are, what we are, and why. And it's full of these kind of meditations where she just gets you to stop and think. And that big pause there was just because that's what I need to do before I rush into the next thing. And that's what we all need to do. So this week's been about that, about space, about relationships, about what's important. And the why of doing this, if it's useful, if it makes any sense to people, if it's of any help, then that makes me happy, but it helps me. So stay well, stay safe, take care, keep in touch if you'd like to, and have a really lovely day, and find things that make you happy, and do the boring things that maybe just need to be done, and then have things that make you happy too planned. Okay, bye for now.